In today's history, we will see the terrible life of Frankenstein and as this develops through his miserable life.
The book of Frankenstein was written by Mary Shelley, who was born in London, August 1797, and died on February
The
1851.
novel begins with a few letters that Captain Walton wrote to his sister. In one of those letters, he tells her that he saw a strange figure in the snow, which was moving at a great speed. A few days later, they rescue a castaway, Victor Frankenstein, which was on a great block of ice. Then is when Victor, the protagonist, starts to count its terrifying story. Since Victor was very young, he was interested in science and research, and I read books on the subjects. He soon moved to England to continue his studies where he met his friend Henry Cleverell. Then Victor continued with its investigation and began to create a living from corpses being. Victor created a monster which he felt as soon as he saw him. The monster escaped. He soon received the bad news that his brother William had been killed and accused for his death to Justin, the maid. Elizabeth and Victor knew that Justin had not been able to commit this murder, and also Victor already imagined who could have been. Victor traveled to the Alps where he met its creation that began to tell the story of their shared and dark existence. The monster told him that it was rejected by all the peoples found in its path and be avenged of the society with the murder of William. So the monster asked Victor to create a female for him, and then he could be happy and live with someone who understood him.
The three main characters of the book are Victor Frankenstein, the doomed protagonist and narrator of the main portion of the story. Starring in Anglesat, Victor discovers the secret of life and creates an intelligent but grotesque monster, from whom he recalls in horror. Victor keeps his creation of the monster a secret, feeling increasingly guilty and ashamed, as he realizes how helpless he is to prevent the monster from ruining his life and the lives of others. The other character is the monster, the 8-foot tall, hideously ugly creation of Victor Frankenstein. Intelligent and sensitive, the monster attempts to integrate himself into human social patterns, but all who see him shun him. His feeling of abandonment compels him to seek revenge against his creator. Robert Walton, the Arctic seafarer, whose letters open and close Frankenstein. Walton picks the bedraggled Victor Frankenstein up of the ice, helps nurse him back to health, and hears Victor's story. He records the incredible tale in a series of letters addressed to his sister, Margaret Saville, in England. Walton functions as the conduit through which the reader hears the story of Victor and his monster. However, he also plays a role that parallels Victor in many ways. Like Victor, Walton is an explorer chasing after that country of eternal light. Unpossessed knowledge, Victor's influence on him is paradoxical. One moment he exhorts Walton's almost muncious men to say that depart courageously regardless of danger. The next, he serves as an object example of the dangers of headless scientific ambition in his ultimate.
Now we're going to talk about the main subject of the book. In the novel we can identify two primary subjects. There are the following. Dangerous knowledge. The pursuit of knowledge is at the heart of Frankenstein, as Victor attempts to search beyond accept human limits and access the circle of life. Likewise, Robert Walton attempts to surpass previous human explorations by endeavoring to reach the North Pole.
This ruthless pursuit of knowledge of the light proved dangerous, as Victor's act of creation eventually results in the destruction of everyone dear to him, and Walton finds himself previously trapped between ships of ice, whereas Victor's obsessive hatred of the monster drives him to his death. Walton ultimately pulls back from his mission, having learned from Victor's example how destructive the thirst for knowledge can be. Now, here is a quote that can prove this, said by Victor Frankenstein. How dangerous is the acquirement of knowledge, and how much happier than a man is who believes his native tongue to be the world, than he who aspires to be the greater than his nature will allow. Now, the second main subject of the novel is the isolation. Isolation manifests both macrocosmically and microcosmically in the novel. The framing narrative is set on a ship sailing to the North Pole, arguably the most isolated point on the globe. More microcosmically, Frankenstein isolates himself from the rest of society by creating life, thereby giving himself a unique status to which no one else can relate. His monster is more directly isolated because he is the only one of its kind. A quote that can prove this, saying by Frankenstein, is the next one. The fallen angel becomes a malignant devil, yet even that enemy of God and man had friends and associates in his desolation. I'm alone.
We can conclude that Mary Shelley makes full use of themes that were popular during the time she wrote Frankenstein. She is concerned with the use of knowledge for good or evil purposes, invasion of technology into the modern life, the treatment of the pure or uneducated, and the restorative powers of nature in the face of unnatural events. We think that we like the novel because in this you can see how the desire of a scientist can destroy a human life, and we like the theme in the main theme in the novel, and because of this, and that's all. Thank you very much, Alfio. We love you.